Hey, what's going on everyone? Thanks for tuning into today's video. So today I'm gonna walk you guys through an entire workout that I did the other day at the gym, and I'm gonna explain exactly every single set for the full amount of repetitions, what I think about when I do my workout, when I do my exercises, the kind of intent that I have behind it, the order why I choose it, and all that good stuff. So hopefully you can learn some. Enjoy the video. All right, first exercise that I chose was the laying hamstring curl. Of course, as the name implies, we're working the hamstrings here. I really like the laying down position because I feel like I can get a little bit better stretch in that. So I make sure that I really control the eccentric on that. I think this was my first set. So I'm basically just trying to drive my ankles evenly into those pads and then curl. I have the weight light enough that I can curl the pad all the way basically to the top of my hamstring sweat right underneath my butt cheek. And then just trying to really feel that stretch in the, like on the very bottom, and the big squeeze right at the top. So I'm actually pretty much locking my legs out at the bottom there. I'm trying to keep my hips pretty much neutral, so I'm trying not to arch and try to keep my low back in a relatively neutral position there. And then the weight, like I said, is not crazy heavy. I'm just trying to get a really good pump on, control the movement, and then make sure that I drive through both legs very evenly as I really just essentially light up the hamstrings to get a good amount of blood flow into it. For the next one is the leg extensions, so it's the exact same intent, just the other side. For those, I will make sure that my butt and my back are completely touching the back so that I have as much of a, call it a hip extension as I can. And then same principle, make sure that the pad on the ankles sits comfortably. I think if we just kind of rush through it, they're usually the side that is closest to the machine is the most biased to have a little bit more of the resistance. So that's why you want to make sure you drive through both ankles evenly. And then I try to fully lock out my legs at the top, have a big squeeze, and then resist the weight coming down. I have been doing, I want to say it was 2 sets of about 15 reps for all of those exercises. So I'm just trying to do it really controlled, get a good pump in it again, and keep the weight not too crazy heavy. And make sure you have someone in front of you. This one's a little bit more technical, a lateral lunge with a kettlebell, really trying to work the adductors here and just getting out of that frontal plane of motion. So trying to just move a little bit side to side. And again, the weight, I think this was the first set again, so I'm not going too crazy in the weight yet. I'm just trying to be really, really controlled, pushing flat through my feet as I drive down. And then I always think about sitting my butt cheek towards my heel to get that really, really good depth in. And then just making sure that on each side as I drive through, I stay centered over the foot, keep my core tight, and keep my chest tall. Next up is upper body. I chose a good old-fashioned seated shoulder press for that. I like this machine because the arms can operate independently, so it forces you a little bit more to really push balanced to way to the top. I try to keep my back completely flush against the seat there, just so I'm a little bit more upright. And then I also keep my hands very relaxed, just so I push through my wrists more and I'm not death gripping it, so that I don't feel it too much in my tricep and my forearms, but really blow up the shoulders. I have the seat set so that I'm sitting, hitting the weight or hitting the movement at a full range of motion, so I can go really nice and low and then get a big stretch at the top. And I also keep my lats really tight to stabilize my shoulders a little bit better. Here you can witness me doing hanging leg raises for the first time in probably about a year. I don't really like to core that much until I do it, and then I realize how important it really is. So the big things here are I'm trying to stay completely still without hanging. So as I'm holding onto the bar, I'm actively pushing my lats in so that I have little to no swing at all. And then as you can see, I try to lift my hips up as far as humanly possible to get that massive squeeze right in that core, in that middle. And then, as always, control the eccentric and don't get mad. Last 2 things I chose to do is finish up with some good old arms. So here you can see me do a basic cable press down. I like that. I don't know what you call it. I call it an A bar. As you can kind of notice, I'm keeping a bit of a suicide, like a false grip again. I'm trying to keep my wrists pretty much completely straight. Again, controlling the eccentric. I hope you guys can kind of see a running theme here. Always slow on the eccentric. Good squeeze on the concentric when you push down, when you really contract that muscle. and trying to keep those reps consistent. With the press downs, I really try to make sure to bend my arms as much as humanly possible. That's why I bring those handles up so high, and then full lockout at the bottom. And then for the guns, I figured I'd just do some S-bar bicep curls. I'm leaning forward quite a bit. The angle is kind of shitty because it's the first time I tried doing these. So basically, again, nice and slow when you do the reps. My hands are relaxed. Again, I'm not trying to death grip it here. I want to feel all the pump in the bicep, yeah. And the slightly leaned forward angle just helps me to squeeze a little harder at the top so that my wrists do not go behind my elbows. And then I just like keeping my head a little bit forward so I, consistently pull to the same position. And that's all we got.